This is Russ Edgar, Avion Overlander. Today I'd like to show you something that everybody that I read on the various lists at some time or another, or many people actually, are concerned about, talk about, ask about, whatever, and that is the Wi-Fi that they're receiving in their RV. A lot of them have normals, rely on some kind of special cell phone. Some of them rely on the actual Wi-Fi that's available at campgrounds and or Walmart or McDonald's or someplace else. There's just an array of things that people talk about on their Wi-Fi. And it appears, unless you really want to spend big bucks for it, it is kind of elusive. You cannot get what suits you. So I'm going to talk about and show you our Wi-Fi. Several years ago, I followed a young man that traveled to the United States. He was out full time, and he worked, made videos, made money that way. He may have worked other ways, I don't know that, but he spent a great deal of time trying to figure out how he could have Wi-Fi while traveling. And we did the same thing. And once I hit upon him, we followed his advice, and I'm going to show you that advice that we have followed. Now I'm sitting in the trailer. I'm going to actually take you to the house in a few minutes, or well, maybe not a few minutes, before very long, and show you the house also. But I'm going to show you what we do in the trailer and actually the truck and explain it to you. This is the front of our trailer, and when we are finished for the day traveling, and or we're camped at a spot and we're going to be there more than one day, we bring the router, and this is a router. It is not a hotspot. The new ones are called hotspots. So this is an old style. It's called a router. You see it's got some blue tape on it holding it together because it's come apart a time or two. It is by AT&T. No, I'm not selling anything for AT&T. I simply use and pay for their service. This router is 120 volt. It's plugged in right there. The trailer today is plugged into an outlet to our dollhouse, we call it, which is actually a shop. However, when we're traveling, our inverter runs and we have 120 to it also. This is an AT&T router. It powers our TV. It powers our laptops. It powers everything we need, just like any other Wi-Fi, except it's our personal one. Actually, if you were near us, camp with us, I could give you the code and you could use it also. It doesn't... I can have several people use it if I wanted. I don't, but it can do it that way. Now I have moved to the truck so you can see the interior of the truck if you want to see it. And the important part is, here's the router again. It's actually plugged into the truck. You see the plug-in right there to the right top. I'll put a finger on it so you can actually see it. This is the plug that works to get the router alive. Now the truck has a 120 circuit in it when it's running, not when it's sitting. But you can see that the router is blinking. Lights are all blinking. That is because even though the truck is not running, it is running on a battery. It has an internal battery that keeps it alive even if you lose electricity. However, if we were actually going on a trip, we would start the truck and we would immediately have the availability of the router. Lynn, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Lynn always sits in the passenger seat. I usually drive. So she sits here with her tablet. She brings up the information we need to go into where we're going. We talk about where we're going to boondock that night, where we're going to stop, what are we going to see. And most of that stuff, information about that stuff, is derived using her tablet and coming through and going out this router. It runs all the time. Wanted to show you a picture of the router operating in my home this morning. You can see the lights blinking, lights on top. It has one Ethernet attachment, or a place to connect Ethernet cables. That's the blue cable that you see. So the router is supplying several computers in the house because it's Wi-Fi. But it also is supplying my farm. If you see that, I believe there's about 8 attachments there of Ethernet. They're all going to cameras, some in the barn, some on the perimeter of the property where we watch birds. The switch is a TP-Link switch. When I bought it, it was about $18. It may be up or down from that time. It's been several years, 3 or 4. It works excellent. Never had a drop of trouble with it. But it is able to supply data to 7 different Ethernet cables that are going at other places on the farm out of the one router. Okay, I'm back in the house. I wanted to show you the router inside the house. That'll be a little clip that'll be inserted in here so you can see that. Some things you should know. This is a 250 gig router. That's what you get for it. You can watch videos just till your brain falls out if you want to on 250 gigs. You can send all the emails you want. You can do a lot of stuff on 250 gigs. Now there's a trick to this router actually. It's not available, as far as I know and what I've been told, to everybody in the United States. It is sold, and if you go into an AT&T store, they may say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. However, it is sold as a rural, R-U-R-A-L, router. It is for people who have poor Wi-Fi in their area, in their county, whatever, and this is offered. Now, it may be required by the government. I don't know. I had somebody tell me that, but I truly do not know. But it is, you have to go in the AT&T store. You have to specifically ask them, do they have the rural router? And they'll probably say it's a hotspot now. You get 250 gigs of data usage. That is a lot. It costs about a wee bit less than $70 a month. That's forever. If you want, and it has 2 places on the router, you can actually hook a phone, not a cell phone, a regular phone. Those that I haven't used one of those for years, but you can buy them new, and you can plug it in and you can use it to phone people. Because anytime there's an AT&T cell tower, or there's an AT&T cell tower, not necessarily AT&T tower, but it's being used by AT&T, you have Wi-Fi. Now, we traveled the West last summer fall, and very, very, very seldom did we not have service. The only time that really did not have service is when you're in a big canyon hole, or if you're in one of those places where the sign says no services for the next 130 miles. Well, usually there'll be a blind spot in that. However, on some of those places, they've got cell towers because of, we were on Interstate 70 a lot, coming across in and out, and there were cell towers that you could, on the big buttes, and you could have a data in the truck, However, you couldn't stop and buy gas because there was no place to buy it. You couldn't buy a Coke, but that's the way it was. So I highly recommend this if you have the criteria that AT&T needs. If you're in a rural area that has pitiful Wi-Fi, then this is an offer from AT&T. There may be other people that do this. I do not know, have no idea. However, I do know that we pay a little less than $70 a month. We have 250 gigs of data, and we drive. And one of the things I asked when I bought this is, can I take it anyplace? And he absolutely, yes. AT&T doesn't care after you get the router where you use it. We use it in Arizona, we use it in Colorado, we use it in New Mexico, we use it every place. It doesn't matter. It operates flawlessly. I think I'll let you go now. I appreciate you being with me. Have a good day. You can see it's a day outside the window behind me. That's where we feed our birds every morning. Be safe out there and have fun.